Hello, how are you? It's Wednesday today, the 2nd of November, and I'm just finishing off this vlog. I filmed a lot of footage over October, so we had a lovely trip down to Brighton to see my eldest daughter. Lulu and I went down for a couple of days, and then what else did we do? We've done some pumpkin picking, and then I baked, I did some cooking. It was only soup, but I tried a new recipe, a baked potato and leek soup. So I think that's in there. So I'm not quite sure really. I've got lots of different bits. So but there was enough to put together for a vlog. So I thought I would film an October vlog. And yeah, so I'm just here ready to say hello. And I realise I'm very rubbish at sort of filming introductions and chatting to you as I go along. So today, it's my day off today, and my lovely friend has booked us tickets to go and see a comedy show in Bath tonight. What's it called? Let's have a look. She's very good at making sure I don't become a full hermit. What we're watching? The Scummy Mummy Returns. So there we go. I'm looking forward to seeing that with her. I've just had a shower. I've had a very lazy morning. I've had just had a nice shower. I've been reading my book for the past hour, and I'm just gonna have a really quiet day. I've been feeling really overstimulated. I think probably because we've had half term and there have been people in and out the house, and we've had lots of activities and things planned. And yeah, I've woke up the past 2 mornings with that like anxiety stomach. So you know, I'm really looking forward to going out tonight, but it does make me feel a bit anxious, I think, when I get overstimulated. And obviously I've been at work for the past couple of days, and although I work in the library, I spend most of my time you know, talking to people. So, you know, I'm working with people, and we're helping people access information, and a lot of that information is digital now. So yeah, I do get home and sometimes I feel like I don't want to speak to anyone, and then of course the children haven't seen me all day, so they're chatting at me, and then, you know, Rob comes in, and yeah, so I think I'm just feeling a bit but I know myself well enough to just know that I'm just going to take the day and do not a lot, and I will be fine. So have a bit of a recharge, I think. I'm going to do some crochet. I should be able to film a podcast as well next week, I think, because I finished a couple of things. So I'm going to do some crochet today. I've spent the morning reading, which was lovely. And I'm not sure what else to do. I might have a look through my cookbooks and see if maybe I can cook something nice. We'll just see how we go, really. But the other thing I've been doing is I might talk you through it. I've been adding my all the books I have to read. I've been adding them to a new list on Goodreads. So I saw this on, I think, TikTok. People were adding a new shelf to their Goodreads. If you use Goodreads, you could have like different shelves. I don't use it. I just really use it almost as a bookmark. I log the books I'm reading, and I log what pages I'm on. And then if I haven't marked a book, because I'm always reading several books, it's always there. But people have been doing physical to be read folders or shelves. So they've been going through and listing all their physical books that they've got to read. I think that's a really good idea, because I've got lots of books over several shelves that I have bought to read, and you know, I am very much a mood reader. I read seasonally as well, but it's really whatever takes my fancy. But it would be really useful if I just had a list of everything that I have to read that I could look at and then pick a couple of books from. So yeah, I've started that. So maybe I'll move the camera and show you my Goodreads. But yeah, I'm quite excited now to see what I'm going to read next, now that I know where everything is. So yeah, I might do a bit more of that. I mean, it's not all the books I have to read. I have a very big collection of vintage books, and a lot of those I haven't read, but it's just the books that I bought to read. I mean, those are the books that the vintage ones I collect, I'm not going to get rid of, but these are books that are hanging around that I can read and then sort of move on or keep. So yeah, so I might do that as well. So I hope you enjoy this vlog, and it's not too long. I might have to edit it down a bit, but I hope you're well and that you all had lovely half terms. If you had the week off in England, I had a few days off. I worked a few days and I had a few days off, so it was really nice. But I will see you soon for a podcast. Bye. So this is my Goodreads account, and these are the books that I've read. I've got them in date order so you can see everything I've read in October. The Midnight Library, that was a book group. My Evil Mother is a short story. It's free to Amazon Prime users by Margaret Atwood. I didn't actually get that much from it, but I had a read anyway because I generally like her reading. Verity, my daughter bought that for me for Christmas last year. It was okay. The Bloody Chamber. Some poetry by Tim Burton. I'd not read that before. The Maidens I enjoyed, and then Heartburn by Nora Ephron. That's the first book of hers I read and I really enjoyed it. So that's everything I've read this month. And then up here you can see what I'm currently reading. I've got the Agatha Christie on the go, the Very Secret Society for Regular Witches, Babel, The Chimneys of Green Knowe, Parallel Lives, and Pond, which is in the car somewhere actually. I must go and find that. I generally have 4 or 5 books on the go, to be honest with you, just so that I've got something for every mood. I like Babel, that's a really big book actually. I'm only halfway through that, but I do like a choice. And then up here, these are shelves that you can create. So I've only got a couple and you just add a shelf. I've created one here called Physical to be Read. And you can see that I've got 54 books on it. So these are all the books that I have physical copies of that I need to read. So now they've got them all on Goodreads, I can really easily go through and pick something. And they're all in one place, you know, albeit online. But yeah, I've got some older ones here from the charity shops that I've bought, but mostly they're sort of new books that I've bought to read, and oh, I'm looking forward to getting through those. Yeah, so it's just really nice now to have a sort of list, and I can go through, look through, and see what I fancy reading. So I think it's going to help me a lot. But over here, you can order them by average rating. So if I go from the highest to lowest, the top rated book is Landlines. That's by Raina Wynn, who did The Salt Path. That's It's got 4.49, so that's scored quite highly, but I can see it's only had 400 ratings, so not many people have reviewed that yet. So it's not necessarily a true indication of how good lots of people think it is. Whereas The Girl with the Louding Voice, that's got 4.45 and over 120,000 ratings, so I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a good read. But what people on TikTok have been doing, they've been ordering them by the lowest rated and then reading that, sort of getting that off the list. That's my lowest, and it's the only one under 3 stars. It's only had 159 ratings. It's The Testimony of Alice Smith. It's a historical fiction. Death in Her Hands is the next one. It's still over 3 stars, so not bad at all. I actually have started that and got about a third of the way through. It's quite slow, so I can understand why it's been rated a bit lower. But these are all 3-star reads and above, so I don't think I'm going to have any issue with any of these books. So, but I might do that. I might start with The Testimony of Alice Smith. It's been on my bookshelf for a good few years, so maybe I will make that my next one to read. So I will leave my profile below. If you want to follow along, please do. I found these at the charity shop this week. I'm really not supposed to be buying any more books, but they're brand new. Three titles, Barbara Combs. It was £2, so I guess they must have been from sort of a book, like a Book People or something like that. I don't know, but I've not read them. I think I took one from the library a few years ago and never got around to reading it, so I'll be interested. Our Spoons Came from Warwerves. I love that. Let me know if you've read them. I've just opened and looked at the covers. They are beautiful. Look at that. And this one. Oh.
If spring is the season that wakes me alive, and fall is the season to contemplate life, oh yeah. I don't know what is it exactly in this time of year that makes the melancholy me reappear, oh yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist and sea, sand and ember trees. 'Cause it still feels like summer, but it's soaked in nostalgia slowly. All the leaves are turning brown. 'Cause it still feels like summer, and I simply don't wanna see the cold wind sneak back in our town. 'Cause we lived when it was all bare feet, tan skin glistening beneath the heat, evening swirl into a birdsong beat. God, it's now so very bittersweet, so I guess I'll just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer. I keep on forgetting, times learn how to fly, and before I know it, it passes me by, oh. I don't know why when life is beautiful I start to fear it'll slip through my fingers and just disappear, oh yeah. Back and forth through dark roast coffee, salt, mist and sea, just put on my favorite sweater and say goodbye to summer. Goodbye to summer.
Good afternoon. It is, what time does it say? It's just after 2 o'clock now. I'm going to do some cooking, so I thought I would film. I'm making just a leek and potato soup, but I'm using a new recipe. I'm going to try the one from this book, The Year of Miracles by Ella Risbridger, yes. I've read a couple of her books now and they're just so beautiful. They're like cookbooks that you can read and cook from, but she's got a recipe in here for jacket potato soup, and it's just lovely. I mean, it's really a book about how she worked through her grief and how cooking and comfort food helped her. But there's the recipe. So it's just 2 large potatoes and you bake them first, and then olive oil, salt, garlic, leeks, shallots, butter, parmesan, the usual. So I popped into Lidl on the way home to get some shallots and leeks, and I think I have everything now to make this soup. So I thought we'll give it a go. I'll film it and see how it comes out. I think it's supposed to be a really lovely, smooth, creamy soup. So we'll see. But yeah, I just fancied something really comforting and wintry today. The clocks have just changed and we're all really sleepy. So it just seemed like a nice, easy recipe to make, really. And Rob had bought these enormous jacket potatoes. I mean, I'll show you, ridiculous. I think one of these potatoes would have fed 3 or 4 people. So I really wasn't sure what else to do with it because it was just so big. So I popped it in the oven this morning before I went to work. Rob works from home, so I just left it on for a couple of hours and just said, look, can you keep an eye on my potato? So I'm gonna get it out now. Hopefully it's cooked through and then we'll get cooking.
So I've got all the ingredients: leeks, shallots, garlic, and a humongous potato that actually looks a little bit smaller now that it's been cooked, but it's pretty big. I think it'll be plenty. It's absolutely massive. And well cooked by the looks of it. So Rob did a good job. So I'm going to get started. It's a lot later on now, it's 5 o'clock and it's really dark. The soup is pretty much finished, and these are just the skins of that lovely potato, and what she says to do is just grate some parmesan over them and pop them back in the oven for 10 minutes so they'll crisp up even further, and they'll be really like cheesy little bite things that you can add to the soup. So I'm sorry about the light, it's just so got dark so quickly and I had to go and pick the children up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly grate some parmesan over these, pop them in the oven for 10 minutes, and then I'll dish those up with the soup.